wheels, and an NXT, which is a robot. Turns on.
So the second part we did was we had to program the robot to do what we wanted. So in order to do that, we had to go on the computer and do a bunch of programs.
And they're similar to those right there.
Then when we were making the programs on the computer, we'd have to download it with the USB to the NXT.
Step 3 was we had to use a lot of mathematical equations to get the robot to do what we wanted. We first had to figure out the circumference, which is the diameter of the wheel times pi, which is 3.14. The next thing we had to do was the rate, time, and distance, which is rate times rate multiplied by the time, and that will give you the distance. Next we had to talk about proportions, and proportion is basically the angle turn, a full circle, the 90 degrees, basically everything you need to know about a circle. The next thing was conversions. We had to use conversions to get the times that went around, and yep, that's about it for step 3. The next thing was we had to learn how to collaborate, which me and Kobe are pretty good at that. We are good friends, so this was going to be an easy task. And like I already said, my partner was Colby Domeyer. He's a pretty good kid. He's smart. Same with me. And
another thing we had to do is that we had to make the robot follow a line. So we had to go onto the computer, set up a program, put a light sensor on, and the light would automatically detect whether light or dark, and then the robot would follow the line until it finally got to the end.
Is there a robot that did it? And that's the light sensor. Go. Okay, so this is full speed ahead.
What's the one on this?
What happened when you ran the program? Well, when we first started, it spun in a circle. And which motor spun? Only motor C spun. What direction did the motor spin? It spun right. Did the motor stop spinning on its own? Yes, it did, because the program was set to do that. Is the desired behavior yet? No, there's not. Good. Okay, go. The first block on these right there, that turns on motor C and tells it to move in a forward direction. The second block turns on motor B and tells it to move forward. The third block tells it to stop spinning at 720 degrees. Fourth block tells motor C when to stop, and it turns off motor C. And the fifth block turns off motor B. That is basically the rotation blocks. And then up top here, that says the rotation sensor, 720 degrees, and that tells it how far to go. And that is your rotation blocks.
Go.
Okay, well, as you can see, this is the rotation blocks again. So we'll start out with the first two. These two right here tell the NXT to move forward. This one tells it to wait and then go. And then these two tell it to stop. And down here, this is the middle block here, the rotation sensor block, and this tells it that it's the rotation sensor and the sensor. And then this tells it to go 720 degrees, but then as you can see, this says 1440, so you want to change this one to 1440. Then that tells it to move forward, and then read, and then that tells it to plug into port C. KDBT forward on the small wheels.
Go.
This is KDBT reverse on the small wheels. This is KDBT both